How's it going out there, guys? I'm originalasherella, and this is quarantine tea. You thought I was gonna say onion tea, didn't you? But no, we're not talking about the Onion Man today. I do have an onion video coming out in a couple days, but today we're going to be talking about, the undeniable, avoidable thing that is going on right now out there in the world. Now, the corona, COVID-19, and resulting quarantine, it's a serious situation. Like, it really is, and that is why we are, under self-quarantines and mandatory quarantines and everything that's going on out there. But it's times like this, just as like humanity, if we cannot like laugh a little bit and laugh at ourselves, then we're losing hope, And so we're going to be joking about the situation today, but it's not because I take it lightly or it's not serious. Disclaimer, I guess. But like I said, I'm originalasherella. This is my channel, originalasherella, and let's talk about some of the crazy stuff people are doing. Okay, so we've all heard the stories about like the crazy people hoarding toilet paper and buying like 80, 24 packs and that kind of thing. I just envision a bunch of like Black Friday Karens, that go out in teams in Black Friday shop, reassembling and like hitting the toilet paper aisles. Like, we've all heard stories like that, but we're going to be talking about some really extreme stories like that, and then some other stuff that's just kind of batshit crazy. Some of these stories, I've heard on NPR, some of them are from Reddit, and some of them people have told me IRL. So, let's get into it. So obviously we got to start off with a toilet paper story. There's a woman in Missouri who was pregnant and she, was expecting and due any day. Her water broke, and instead of going to the hospital, this was like, I think that first Friday that everything kind of hit the fan. Instead of going to the hospital to give birth to her child, she went to Walmart and shopped for toilet paper. She went into full-fledged labor in the toilet paper aisle. There was a nurse nearby, thank goodness, and evidently the manager of the store held up a sheet for privacy, and this woman gave birth to her child in the toilet paper aisle in Walmart. It is a true story. If you don't believe me, Google it. What the hell? I was in my local Walmart, it was a day or two, I think it was last Saturday, and it was just a couple of days after everything, like I said before, hit the fan, and I was talking to a guy that I knew that worked there, and he said that the night before, that Friday, they had to call the local PD in because people were getting into fights over stuff. People were fighting over toilet paper and ramen noodles, and I'm just oh my goodness, I know, I just hate that people would rather, you go without and them have too much than, just share. And it's times like this that, rather than take advantage of each other and try to get one over on each other, it's times like this we've got to, prop each other up, just as the human race, you know what I mean? But people are always going to be selfish, and I can't say that I'm not, but I definitely didn't go in and buy, the last toilet paper. I did go to my local Dollar Tree to get toilet paper, and I was already running low, so it wasn't a freak-out toilet paper purchase, but they were out. But what was so crazy, it's there's this whole wall. You have paper towels, you have toilet paper, and then you have, boxes of Kleenex and tissues and things like that. And the entire toilet paper section was cleared out, but all the paper towels were full and all the boxes of Kleenex were full. And I'm just thinking, do people not realize that all that is basically the same thing? And if you're that desperate for toilet paper or that worried you're not going to be able to take a dump and do what you need to do, do you not get that? You could go grab the old McDonald's napkins in the glove box that you had left over from the drive-thru if you really needed to. People realize that, right? Okay, this next story, it is a denomination of Christianity in Lebanon, and they are taking dirt from, it's a monk, some monk that is like very important to this specific denomination, taking dirt from his grave, like his tomb, boiling it, making tea, and then they are giving it to corona patients. Like, they think, and they swear to God, you know, like they think that this is the cure from God. They think that this is curing corona. But the crazy ass thing is, and I'm not dissing on anybody's faith, like, I'm not particularly religious, but if you are, that's cool. I'm not gonna like talk crap to you or whatever, as long as you're not trying to push your beliefs on me. But these people are boiling this dirt from this monk's gravesite, making tea out of it, and then the doctors at the hospitals in Lebanon are allowing it in the hospital because the patients are requesting it. Like, I just can't see where that's all that healthy or sanitary. I mean, I guess it's boiled, so, you know, that does provide some level of sanitation, but, like, oh my God. Like, it just makes me think, like, what people are thinking sometimes. And what was really funny, I heard that in an NPR story, and whenever they ended the story, it was just like, yeah, that's what they're doing, and the doctors are letting it into the hospital because the patients are asking for it. But then they don't give any kind of like resolution. That, like, they didn't even, I mean, obviously it's not going to work, but they didn't give any kind of like update on the patients that had drank the dirt from the grave tea. Like, they didn't, like, did they get better? Did they get worse? Was there no change? Like, I'm so curious to find out what, if any, type of reaction these people had from this dirt tea. Okay, I got a fresh new pair of fangs, and I wore them in my last video, and I didn't say anything about it, so I had to take like a momentary break and show off my new fangs. They're not any different than any of my old fangs, but every now and then you just gotta get a fresh new pair of fangs. So, as you probably know, during this situation, many people are working from home. Like, business people, teachers, just about, like, if an occupation can be done from home, they're doing it at home right now. And of course, this is leading to a lot of like FaceTiming with colleagues and, you know, online conferences and conference calls and things like that. And there was a woman, and I don't know exactly where it was or what company it was for, but they were all on a, you know, it was her whole office, all on this live conference. She excuses herself to go to the bathroom and does not realize that her camera is pointing toward her bathroom. She goes and relieves herself in full view of the camera in front of all of her colleagues. She gets back and they're all like, I didn't see anything, and cracking all these jokes. And I'm just thinking, how, okay, first of all, are you not shutting the door when you go to the restroom? Like, I live alone and I shut the door when I go to the restroom. Like, what? I don't understand that. But second of all, how could you not realize that was happening? Like, I mean, I've done some kind of embarrassing things before, but that is pretty extreme. Our next story is, it's just a tweet from Jill Bennett, and she's a reporter. They had went to a Costco and were talking to people about what they were getting and blah, blah, blah. And this gentleman, I guess you could call him a gentleman, all he has from Costco is 16 boxes of condoms and a gigantic jar of coconut oil. And it's so funny because she's like, I guess we all have our priorities. And I'm thinking, that's true. But that leads me to another thought that I've been thinking since this whole thing started, especially regarding the people that are in mandatory quarantine. How many, like, quarantine babies do you think are going to be created before this gets resolved? Like, there is definitely going to be, like, a quarantine baby boom. Yeah, definitely. That is, like, most definitely going to happen. When people are stuck at home with each other and nothing else to do, they're going to do that. Okay, back to the Dollar Tree for this story. This was from one of the employees there, and Dollar Tree sells 3 packs of like 2-ounce hand sanitizer bottles, evidently, and they sell those year round. It's a regular product that they carry. She was on Amazon or eBay. I can't remember which one of the two, but somebody had bought a bunch of those, opened them up, and split the bottles up, and was selling each 2-ounce bottle for like $62 freaking for 2 ounces of generic hand sanitizer. And it doesn't really matter that it's generic because it's the same thing and it does the same stuff, but it's just like, oh my god, $62 for a 2-ounce bottle of hand sanitizer. It's like people have lost their freaking minds. They have. While she was telling me that story though, this older woman walks up and joins in our conversation. She starts talking about the toilet paper thing, whatever, and she said, if I run out, I'm just gonna do what we used to do when I was a kid, like back in the olden days. And I was like, oh yeah, what was that? And she said, use a corn cob. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, you just dry it out. That's what we used to wipe with when we were little. And I'm like, no, you are shitting me. Shitting me. But, like, no, she was dead serious. And, like, I don't think I've ever heard of that. Like, have you ever heard of any kind of nonsense like that? Let me know in the comments. Okay, this is the last funny, kind of crazy people funny. This was on Facebook Marketplace. I actually saw it on Insane People Facebook on Reddit, which, is always just a gold mine full of ridiculousness. A gold mine, not a gold mine. A gold mine full of ridiculousness. And somebody was selling and I really hope this person, before I continue, is just trying to be funny. I really hope they're just trying to be funny. But they were selling a single roll of toilet paper for $100. Like, that's crazy. That's crazier than the girl that was trying to sell the positive pregnancy test in my Valentine's Day video. Like, what the hell is wrong with people? And why are they so comfortable posting how crazy they are in like a public way? I guess because they're crazy and they don't know. Speaking of crazy stuff, I have kind of a conspiracy theory. Not really a conspiracy theory. Just, you may or may not know, I studied anthropology. And, like I said, there are a lot of conspiracy theories out there. And I kind of have my own regarding the whole coronavirus situation. But before I get to that, I was chatting in a live stream a couple of nights ago. And one of the other people in there were talking about how her boyfriend's best friend tested positive for corona, and he was sick, and he was only like really sick for like 4 or 5 days, but who's a younger healthy guy, but her boyfriend was his best friend, and I guess he was like his caretaker during this time. But while he was down, they spent all this time like reading all these conspiracy theories and watching all these conspiracy theory YouTube videos about the coronavirus. And now this kid is like dead set that like it was created by the government. And I'm just thinking, okay, if it was created by the government, whose government? Like the United States government? The Chinese government? The Russians? Maybe? I don't know. Because, the Russians like to fuck with stuff, so, I don't know. But there are many conspiracy theories out there like that. But my personal theory on the whole coronavirus is... Okay, let me set it up for you. You know how in Jurassic Park, Dr. Ian Malcolm, whom I love so much. If you've watched past videos, I've mentioned it before. I love Jeff Goldblum. But his whole, like, life finds a way line?
Oh, I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
Well, indeed, that is true, right? Okay, and I know that was a movie and that was a fictional scenario, but the core of that statement is true. Over the past 100 years, us humans, we have done things that have caused the extinction of at least 500 different species. And, you know, those are just ones that are extinct because of like direct human action. And we've done a lot of things indirectly that has caused, you know, populations of animals, insects, plants to dwindle, and some of them just totally go away. Now, like I said, I studied anthropology, and you learn that things evolve, and things tend to like heal themselves, and things tend to find a way. Life tends to find a way. And we are doing so much damage to the earth. One, because it's overpopulated. And two, because we are not recognizing all these things that we're killing out. That this is like the earth's revenge on the human race. This coronavirus, in my opinion, is the earth trying to balance itself back out. And I think at this point, the only way it feels like it can do it is to get rid of some humans. And I know that might be a little morbid or a little crazy or a little sad, but have you ever seen the movie, what is it called? It's the M. Night Shyamalan movie where the pollen in the air starts killing people. What is that movie called? With Mark Wahlberg, and everybody makes fun of it all the time because it's such bad acting on his part. I still think it's a pretty decent movie, but I can't think of the name. Anyway, I'll like put it here when I'm doing the editing. But yeah, there's so many memes of Mark Wahlberg and like little clip videos. I'll clip it in where he's like, "What? No."
You're on murdering me in my sleep.
What? No.
It's so crazy. But anyway, like I said, that is my personal theory on what's going on. That is it for Quarantine Tea. I'm originalasherella. This is my channel. I hope you enjoyed everything. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. Everybody, let me know how your life is going during the COVID-19 crisis and the quarantine situations. Like, spill everything that's going on with you right now down there in the comments. Leave me a like. Leave me a dislike. Engagement is engagement. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Always tap in, never tap out, and keep on slaying like a Saiyan.